just jam-packed with lovely things. Hello friends on Facebook, hello YouTube, I hope you are all well. Sorry it's a bit grey down here in the West Country, I can't get a sunnier day for you, just see a bit of greyness out of the back here, but lots to brighten the day. I thought what I'd do today is have a little look at things for the guys, because I don't often talk about the men, really. So maybe give them a bit of a look in and just share some of the new things that we've been doing. Obviously we're continuing with our 12 days of Christmas, so the next one in line is actually this shirt I'm wearing, and this is really special to me because this is made from kikoi fabric, this striped fabric from Kenya. And as you may know, my eldest son has been living and working in Kenya for the last year or so. I mean, my family have had connections in Kenya for more than 40 years. And we've got a family home over there, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully at some point getting back and being able to bring you lots of stories from, you know, wilderness and adventures, which is going to be really fun to share. I can't wait for that. But anyway, in the meantime, he's coming home for Christmas, which is just so exciting. So I'm really looking forward to that. But this is a brand that he told me about because it was started by some friends of his over in Nairobi. And they're called Koi Clothing, K-O-Y Clothing. I've talked about them before on the Instagram because they are a sustainable fashion brand. They package in, you know, non-plastic. This is how all the shirts come. Lovely men's shirts. This is actually a man's shirt. This was actually due to be a Christmas present for my middle son, Kit, who I think fancies himself as a bit of a fashion icon. You probably saw if you saw his pictures in Hello magazine. But anyway, don't tell him, but I just might hang on to it. I kind of like that whole oversized shirt vibe. So it's linen and it's got this kikoi striped fabric. And if you are familiar with Kenya fabrics, you know that they make these really brightly coloured kikois and they wear them, the men wear them like sarongs. You may have seen David Beckham, you know, in some kind of fashion statement. I think it was a few years ago now, he was quite young at the time. But yeah, they use kikois for all sorts of things. They use them for blankets and for baby papooses and for picnic rugs and for sunshades and, you know, you name it. You can just do lots and lots of things with kikois. So what these guys do is they make really good menswear. There are some women's shirts as well, but the guys are really kind of where it's at for them. And they use this kikoi fabric just to do things like turn back cuffs. Isn't that such a great detail? It's actually a double button cuff, so it's really smart. I mean, these are lovely classic pieces. And of course we have a Liz Loves on there. I know Lainey is on Facebook today. Hi Lainey, thank you very much in advance for popping up a link. This was a little trick, by the way, that Lily showed me when doing cuffs, rather than just rolling them back and back so they get all big and bulky. She said just turn them back a long way and then take the piece at the front. And actually, when you've got a shirt like this, it works really quite well because then you're just left with a kind of a bit of trim showing. Anyway, apparently it's called a French cuff. So there we go. The other thing that you can do with these shirts, if I stand up, I can show you. Whoops, not tip the lamp over. They've got this little placket here. So you see they've added the little detail, which I really like. And of course, the French tuck is where you tuck it in at the front and have it out at the back. And then I've just belted mine here with one of Annie Reid's lovely belts. So we were talking about these earlier, and these are really good value. They are hand-dyed leather belts, Italian belts, and she's got them in every colour. And again, we do have a Liz Loves on her website, which is Sanson Reid, up until Christmas. So remember those lovely headbands I was wearing? Really inexpensive. I think they started at about £12. So they're all on, all the headbands, all the belts, and all her dresses are on a 10% discount with Liz Loves. But look, bit of sparkle, bit of shimmer. Let's get a bit of shimmer going. We're into December. Time to sparkle and glow. Let me give you the details. You're asking about Koi Clothing. Let me just double check the website. Yeah, it's everything on their website. And that gives you 12% off. Ooh, very nice. And so they're day 5 of our 12 days of Christmas. And you need to go to Koi Clothing, K-O-Y clothing.com. And yeah, do check them out. And one of the reasons why I like them and I like supporting them is they are a sustainable, ethical fashion business. So they give back. Okay, they give a percentage of their profits back to the community. They're back to wildlife projects, back to conservation, all of that. So I'm actually hoping that when I'm in Kenya, I might be able to go and see them, maybe see some of the projects, check what they're up to. It's nothing like going and having a snoop around and seeing what's really going on. Just realised I've kind of worn my shirt like this just because I like to have a bit of neckline, but obviously, you know, you could wear it like that too. That's quite nice. I don't know, I'm not keen on having things up here. What do you think about that? It's like polar necks. I'm never too crazy about polar necks, but I always think I'm quite round in the face and I just need a bit of space around it. But yeah, maybe it looks good. Anyway, lovely things for gifting. And while we're talking about guys, I thought it would also be nice to talk about another group of guys who I really like, which is New Ground Coffee. And lots of you have been commenting on this because we've got an ongoing 20% discount with Liz Loves on New Ground Coffee. They've just changed their packaging. They've just sent me these 2 new blends, which I thought I would do a little tasting. Because lots of you are saying, what coffee do you drink? You know, we've looked at the New Ground Coffee website, which ones are the ones to go to? So they have sent me New Christmas Blend, very seasonal, and this one, which has got a pretty pink label, and it's just called Big House. There you go. I don't know what that's going to taste like. Let's try it and see. So I have got, the reason that I like these guys is the coffee is sustainable. It comes from small scale farmers and growers. They hand blend all the different combinations, and they use, they've got a rehabilitation program to educate and help employ ex-offenders coming out of jail who otherwise would potentially be back on the streets and reoffending. And we know that if we can help guys back into employment, then the risks of reoffending drop considerably, and we as a society are better off as a whole. So really good, and that's what these guys do. So they employ them, they teach them how to mix the beans and roast them and grind them and be baristas and all of that. So we heart you here at Earle Wellbeing. You are one of my favourite sustainable companies because I do like a really nice cup of coffee. So let's start with this one, New Christmas Blend. This is from Uganda. So Uganda obviously borders Kenya. It's a neighbouring country. I've got lots of friends in Uganda. I've been to Uganda many times. I used to go on sourcing expeditions, been up to northern Uganda where it borders South Sudan. And that was an area that's been devastated by civil war, but they're now regrowing lots of sustainable plantations. Lots of shea butter comes from northern Uganda, and coffee. So this is my brew. Let's have a taste of this one. So this is the Christmas blend, which is quite interesting. So it says it's got notes of cherry pie and dried fruit. Who made their Christmas cake, by the way? You got your Christmas cake all ready? I've got mine. Can't wait. I do love a nice bit of Christmas cake, I have to say, with a generous thick layer of marzipan. That's the key for me. I'm probably keener on the marzipan than I am on the cake, actually. Anyway, this says, okay, where are we? Christmas blend. Ethically sourced, high-grade coffee from small-scale farms. La 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 la. We believe coffee can go beyond the cup, can be used as a catalyst for change. Don't you love that? I love all these young upcoming brands. It's so great as a kind of serial entrepreneur, slightly longer in the tooth, just to shine a spotlight on people who are doing it well. Because, you know, if you're going to buy coffee, let's buy great coffee and make a massive difference. You know, they're making a difference to the people who produce it, grow it, and then grind it and pack it and ship it. So then they say, that's why we use our business to create work and training opportunities for ex-offenders across the UK, giving some of the most overlooked people in the society a new beginning. So yeah, new ground, new beginning. So Christmas blend from Uganda. It says it's made up of 2 different coffees from the Zukuru Bora Coffee Project up in Mount Elgon. And it says it is boozy and full of fruitiness. Showcasing Ugandan coffee in a unique and exciting way. It's the perfect accompaniment to your Christmas. Okay, guys, let's see. What do you taste like? So I'm expecting, I can smell actually kind of a fruitiness. Oh yeah, definitely. Sort of raisiny, rich. Definitely a fruity, it's not bland at all. It's got a real depth of flavour. So if you're looking for something quite robust, I would say. It's quite nice, isn't it, to have a variety of different coffee options. I always like to start my day with a strong cup of coffee and then kind of scale it down a little bit. And I try not to have any after kind of early afternoon. So this one, I've already got in this little cafetiere here. By the way, if you are interested in making a spiced coffee, I put a new little video clip up on YouTube yesterday on a spiced coffee blend, and that's just showing you a really simple recipe to make a warming blend of coffee using cardamom and ginger and cinnamon. Really easy, really good, and absolutely, you know, transforms coffee, gives it a lovely kind of chai flavour. Because I was really shocked when I looked at the amount of sugar in all these coffee drinks. You know, if you go into now the takeaways, or, you know, now they're allowed back into restaurants in some places, you know, especially the takeaway shops that do things like chai latte and all these different, you know, mochachinos and all these different varieties. They make them with syrups, and they are so full of sugar. I mean, they are absolutely packed with sugar. So if you can make a spiced coffee blend or tea blend and keep it sugar-free, or just add a tiny little smidgen of something that you fancy, then that would be really good for our blood sugars. So this one is called Big House, and it says it comes from Brazil, Colombia and Uganda. Okay, and it says it tastes of summer fruits, milk, chocolate and caramel. Sounds good. So this one's obviously going to be a little bit smoother, a little bit lighter. Let's give this one a go. So they also do subscriptions. That's why I was thinking about presents for guys. You know, if you've got somebody in your family or a really good friend who's into their coffee, you know, what a great gift. Because they'll just send it to them in the post. You don't have to worry about it. I think you can do a kind of year-round thing, or you could just do a one-off, you know, coffee parcel. Ooh, smells good. Yeah, much milder. Really smooth. Love that. There's no kind of bitterness to it. You know how coffee can sometimes have that slight kind of tanniny tang. This is really smooth. Really interesting. I would never have thought about describing coffee as having a milk chocolate flavour, but definitely, you know, now you've mentioned it, I can definitely taste that. Love that. Well done, guys. Really nice combination, actually, because then you've got the two options. You know, you've got the kind of power punchy something for this time of year, new Christmas blend, and then this one, which is Big House. That's the smoother milk chocolatey one. Now, talking about milk chocolate, I have a confession to make. I'm no good with numbers, and I'm no good with dates, and I don't know about you, but I got my Salcombe Dairy advent calendar, my chocolate calendar. And confession time, I have actually just eaten the chocolate from day 3. Yeah, I thought it was the 3rd of December. So I'm going to have to go 2 days now without. It was absolutely delicious. Well done if you managed to get yours. We do still have the Liz Loves going on the rest of all their chocolates. But thank you, Salcombe Dairy. It's very delicious, and I can say that day 3 was also very yummy. And it reminded me actually of a story. My youngest is not allowed to take a chocolate advent calendar into school. They're allowed to take advent calendars in, but they're not allowed to have chocolate ones, because one year, I think it was a girl in maybe year 4, at break time, she went back into the classroom and she opened up all the chocolate advent calendars and she ate all the chocolates. Can you imagine? So ever since then, chocolate advent calendars have been banned. You've got to admire people's initiative sometimes, haven't you? Anyway, so what are we talking about today? Yes, I've talked about the koi clothing. Actually, this one I should show you. This one I haven't yet unpacked. And interestingly, Kenya was the first country in the world to ban the plastic bag. And they did it kind of overnight, which in some ways was good, but also it didn't set up any infrastructure for the people who absolutely, particularly in rural countries, are relying on transporting things or selling goods, or, you know, buying their bags of plums or potatoes or tomatoes or whatever. So it was a bit of a shock for the country overnight, but very quickly, ever resourceful, they've created these little fabric bags that you just see everywhere. And whenever you go shopping in Kenya, this is absolutely what you would be given. You would never be given a plastic bag. And in fact, if you're travelling into the country, they do warn you not to have any plastic bags, you know, from duty free or anything like that, because, you know, you can get fined or, you know, potentially even arrested. Yeah, having a plastic bag. So they do warn travellers. And I remember going through duty free, buying a bottle of wine or something to take as a present for the person I was staying with in Nairobi when I landed. And they said to me, you know, where are you flying to? Because you've got to show your boarding card. And I said, Nairobi. And they said, oh, we have to give it to you in a special paper outer. because otherwise you'll get into trouble when you land with a plastic bag. And I remember saying to them, well, that's great. So if you can do that for one country, why can't you do it for everybody? You know, why don't they suddenly say, actually, let's take all plastic bags out of, you know, the retailer? Anyway, so this is what it comes in. It's quite neat, actually. It's got a little kind of button closing. Just very clever how they've managed to make that into a little shirt bag. Did anybody see Lucy McNamara and me talk last night? I was on the Aspiga website. So Aspiga is another great ethical British fashion brand, female founder-led brand. And we were talking about all different types of ways to live more sustainably and try and get rid of single-use plastic as much as possible. And obviously they go to great lengths with what they do. So this is Kikoi. Sorry, not Kikoi. This has got Kikoi fabric in that. I love that. I always love a dark blue shirt. I think there's something really attractive, don't you, about kind of dark blue on men. It's a really good colour. And then that's got the little red Kikoi striped turn-back cuff. And a little tag here that tells you a bit about it. And it says, Koi clothing combines authentic African cloth, Kikoi, with luxury style, 100% cotton, dyed and woven locally in Kenya. Each item is named after a Kenyan tribe by reference to the Kikoi colour. 5% of every purchase goes back into the communities to recognise their cultural inspiration. There you go. And this is called a Kitu shirt. This one, Kabisa navy shirt. And yeah, nice. Really nice, guys. Wishing you lots and lots of luck. I know they started this new little brand at the beginning of the year, and they had all the sales lined up to be doing festivals and fairs and private sales. And of course, all that just got wiped out. So really nice to be able to support you. Now, a couple of other things in news. Back in stock, Ultrient C. Love this. Who's listened to my podcast with Dr. Levy? Oh my goodness. So fascinating. And the Liposomal Vitamin C is absolutely the one that I am taking at the moment. It is expensive. So I'm really thrilled that we have been able to extend the Liz Loves programme. You get in here, you get your little sachets and you pop it into a glass of water, like just a little tiny bit of water, and then you add the little contents of your sachet and knock it back. And it goes straight into the cells of the body. It doesn't have to go through the gut, so it's really absorbed and fully utilised. I mean, I looked at the science and I talked at length to Dr. Levy about it, and it is an extraordinary product and really, really effective, and I've been taking it every day. I've been giving it to my children. The only downside is it is expensive. So what we've done with Ultrient C is there is a discount for Liz Loves, and it ranges between 10% and 25%, depending on how many buy. Basically, the more you buy, the more discount you get. And I just checked just before coming live here today, and they've currently got the vitamin C on sale. So I thought, oh, I wonder if the code works, because sometimes, you know, obviously fair enough, brands can't afford it or whatever. And yes, it does. So currently on sale, if you then apply your Liz Loves discount, you know, you are going to get a massive saving, and you will never find it as cheap. Okay, so yes, I know it's expensive. I think it's a great investment. Any of you who follow Alice Hart Davis and her amazing podcasts and stories all about tweakments for the skin and aging well, she is an absolute fan of this and has been for a long, long time. In fact, I think I possibly first saw it on maybe one of her posts. It really is the real deal. So if you want to, of course, because you get more discount the more you buy, you might want to link up with a friend, you know, you want to share it, so get one big order so that you get the maximum discount, and then, you know, share it between your family or girlfriend or whatever. Anyway, just giving you, I'm not sure how long their discount's going to last. Our discount code will stay up, but obviously if you're applying it on top of another discount, then you're getting double bubble, as they say. The other thing that has double bubble at the moment, did you watch my my live with Lily? Wasn't that so fascinating? My lovely Lil. Actually, you can probably see in the background here, I've got my mask. And this is something else which is extremely expensive. But oh my goodness, the science is extraordinary. It's got its face shield on at the moment, my kind of stormtrooper mask. If I just take that off, that's what it looks like. And I am absolutely hooked. We're writing about it in the magazine in the next issue, so you can read that, read all about it. But again, I checked her website. So she's Cell Return, C-E-double-L as in skin cell, cellreturn.co.uk. And she's got a big saving at the moment, I think just for this week, because it was like Black Friday and then Cyber Monday, and she's just started this little venture, so it's brand new. So I think she had something like a £300 saving. And then we have the Liz Loves, and the Liz Loves is 10%, and that will be ongoing, so hopefully it'll continue through Christmas, beyond in the new year and all of that. But of course, it's 10% off the saving. So, you know, as you say, she's already got, I think, £300 off, so it takes it down to something like saving £450. I mean, I think it's about £1,800 normally. So, you know, if you are perhaps a salon owner, you know, if you're looking to invest in a piece of kit, you know, maybe you've got a nail bar or something and you're just wanting to offer an extra service, you know, obviously I'm not expecting everybody to go out and, you know, rush and buy one of these, but they are extraordinary. And as I say, the uses have been incredible. I mean, I'm using it every night now for my skin. I am healthily addicted. I've got a friend, actually a close family member, who's using the blue setting. If I just tap it on very quickly, I'm not going to talk about this for very long, but just to show you the different settings, because it's all about light. So it talks to you. So that's the red mode. Now, it's only flickering because of the phone. Normally, I mean, it's not flickering to me, it just looks bright red. Okay, then, so that's red mode, which is the aging and rejuvenation. Blue, now blue is the one for acne and scarring and clearing the skin, and the difference it's making to somebody who's had super expensive dermatological treatment and, you know, laser treatments and extensive rounds of antibiotics and all of that, you know, costing a fortune. This is really helping. And then the other one is pink mode. Again, it doesn't flash, it's only flashing because of the screen is strobing. And pink is for inflammation, so that's things like eczema, rosacea, psoriasis. Really interesting. And if you want to follow Lily, she is going to be doing lots of research on there. And one of the things that I'd forgotten to say, this is fast mode, where it cycles through all three of them. If you've only got 9 minutes, it does the whole thing. And you wear it like this, it won't frighten you. Hope nobody's just joined. I think, what on earth is she doing? But one of the things that I want her to look at, and I think we're going to be seeing more information and research looking at the whole area of light technology and how light affects mood. We know, for example, that blue light affects our pituitary gland and stimulates us to keep us awake, which is why you really need to turn your screens off, you know, after about 9 o'clock latest in the evening. Particularly things like iPads and phones, not so much the TV, but certainly if you're watching TV on a laptop screen, for example, you know, that is giving you that blue light through the screen. And you can buy filters and guards that you put on your phone or your tablet that shield. You can also switch your phone to night mode. I've recently started doing that, which is really helpful. It just takes that blue light glare. Because what the blue light does is it connects to the pituitary gland, and it's basically saying, oh, it's daylight, it's morning, it's time to get up and let's, you know, be stimulated, be awake. It's all connecting to the circadian rhythms, and that's not what we should be doing. What we should be doing is switching off, and that's where the red light comes in. And if you listen to Lily talking about the studies into red light, it was all about how they've done tests with in nurseries or in paediatric wards with babies at night, where they go in with red light to light the way so that the nurses can see, but the babies don't wake up and don't get disturbed because it keeps you asleep. So I've been using my red light setting at night and really enjoying a much better night's sleep. And the other thing that I did, I don't think I talked about this, it actually occurred to me in the bathroom when I was brushing my teeth yesterday, is I don't get cold sores, touch wood. You know, I am not somebody that really suffers. I've got other members of my family who do, but fortunately that's not been a problem for me. But about a month ago I had this little blister come up here, and I thought, well, that's a bit weird, what's that? And it was quite very tingly, you know, which is what they always say about cold sores, and it was blistering, and it was just beginning to kind of expand. And I thought, oh no, this is absolutely, I looked it up, I checked it out, it was absolutely classic herpes simplex virus, cold sore. said, this is disaster. You know, I'm doing my lives and I really don't want to be sitting here with a great cold sore, and I don't want to be affected by them either, because they're really hard once they take a grip to get rid of. So I took some lysine, because that is an amino acid that's supposed to help. And as I say, I've got somebody in the family who has cold sores, and so they say it doesn't stop them, but it's certainly helpful as an amino acid supplement. So I took some of that and thought, well, that's, you know, maybe going to help. And then I thought, oh, I wonder, the mask. So I got the mask and I put it on the pink setting for a little bit, and then I put it on the blue setting, which I wouldn't normally use because that's like for acne and for skin clearing and cleansing. And normally I use the red setting because that's for aging. Anyway, I did my 20 minutes, it went to bed, woke up in the morning, not a trace. I mean, I kid you not, I was seriously impressed. And obviously that's just one example, it's anecdotal, but I did say to Lily, you need to look into this. And I'm sure in South Korea, where they're doing all these medical studies into light particularly, it will be really interesting to see what that, you know, whether there's been more studies there and clinical trials and data on that, because that would be just transformational. I've got a very good friend actually who suffers really badly, you know, gets these huge breakouts, and it's so debilitating and so uncomfortable, and, you know, and she feels really awkward, you know, whenever it happens. But anyway, I just throw that out there as a by the by. Lily's discount, by the way, on these ends, I think it's midnight Friday. So the Liz Loves will carry on, but obviously if you want the really big saving, or you know somebody, perhaps with deep pockets, who wants to enjoy the big saving, then grab it while you can. A couple of questions here. What size shirt are you wearing, Liz? This is a medium, but this is a boy's shirt. Oh, got a vest on underneath, obviously. It's a bit nippy down here. So yeah, this is a man's. This is a medium. And I quite like that kind of baggy, really comfortable look. They do small as well, so if you wanted something for yourself that was a bit neater, or maybe for a younger lad, then you could go for the small. Is there a Black Friday offer on jewellery other than the current offer? That's from Alison. No, the jewellery offer is on the Wild Rose collection, the whole collection. So that's the earrings, little ear studs like I've got in here, with the little drops as well, the leaf drops and the little crystal drops. Love that set. And the necklace, the little rose gold or yellow gold, and also the bracelet. There's a matching bracelet. So that's all 25% off, and you don't need a code. It's just on there. You can check that out, lizearlejewelry.com. Is there an online version of the magazine? Yes. The easiest thing, go on to lizearlewellbeing.com, click where it says buy the magazine. It gives you options for digital or print. Obviously print, I love print because it's just there all the time, but you can absolutely download. Probably the nicest one or the easiest one is Readly, because then you get all the back issues as well. So readly.com. I think Lainey, maybe on Facebook, you've got a link to Readly. I think we've got a link on Instagram as well. If you're new to Instagram, by the way, very warm welcome. If you click my bio on the Instagram, you'll see a blue link that says Linktree. If you click on that, it brings up all my podcasts and links to resources and features and discount codes and all of that. That's all on there. Does it have a lifetime guarantee? That's Sue on Facebook talking about the mask. I do know that there is a warranty. I don't know quite what it is, but it's on their website, so absolutely check it out or ping Lily a message. She is on the Sell Return website, so there's a whole contact section there. You can contact her on that. Any difference with the black and white one, or just colour preference? Like the look of white, but white plastic can often go yellowy after time. I wonder. No, there is no difference. Lily likes the black one. Isn't that funny? I think she looks like Darth Vader, but there you go. So I've got the white one. I have to say I've had mine for a couple of months now because I've wanted to really give it a good try, maybe even longer, maybe 3 months. I think I was an early trialist because Lily wanted to investigate this, and obviously she came to her mum and said, what do you think? And I said, well, there's a lot of gadgets out there, and you know, you need to be really careful what you put your name to, because it's the research has got to be there, the science has got to be there, it's got to really work, especially when it's so expensive. And so she said, well, I'll lend you one to try. And maybe it was more than 4 months. I mean, honestly, I was really, really blown away by it. And yeah, so as I say, I've been using mine daily, and I have to say, don't listen to this, Lily, not been taking hugely good care of it, because it's it just sort of tends to get thrown into a bag. And if I'm going up to my studios in London, I take it with me. I'm never without it now. So it seems to be absolutely fine. But it does have this protective shield, which you can wear with it. But yeah, I think it looks like a fencing mask. Other people have said that as well. So yeah, do contact her. She's really up for questions, and she's on Instagram as well. So you can get her cellreturn.co.uk. I know a lot of beauty salons and beauty therapists have been asking questions and thinking about it as a piece of kit for their salon. Oh, what's this? Aging and inflammation. Oh, you've just bought the mask. Wow. Yeah, totally. So you can do both. You know, there's no limit to how often, you know, you can use it. I mean, I wouldn't recommend using it 24 hours a day, but absolutely, you know, I use it on different settings. So, for example, when I had that little issue with my lip, I used it on the inflammation setting, the pink setting. And if you, its main settings are 20 minutes, either on the red for aging, the blue for cleansing, like acne and scarring, and the pink for inflammation, rosacea, psoriasis, eczema, etc. And the fast setting is 9 minutes when it cycles through all of them. Okay, so absolutely, you can cycle through all of them. But I am not the expert. Lily is the expert. I bow to my daughter's better knowledge. Honestly, she's done such a deep dive into all of this, and I'll be talking to her again about it. Probably in the new year, I'll pick up again on this technology. Couple of other questions. Oh, this was a lovely comment, actually. This is from Jeannie. Jeannie, you don't say whether you're Facebook or Instagram. I hope you're watching today. And it just says, hi, Liz. Just a quick message regarding HRT. Obviously. It wouldn't be an IGTV, would it, or a Facebook Live without mention of HRT. I'm 57 and had never been offered it, although I had lots of issues. I've been listening to your podcast a few times, and of course you go on about HRT regularly. Sorry about that. Yes, I do. So I've begun to wonder slowly if it could help me. I started swatting up on all your info so I could be armed suitably with all the information I needed before making an appointment, which really helped when I talked to the doctor. I was able to have a sensible chat with them and could at least act like I knew what I was talking about and asking for. The doctor was quite clearly set in her ways with how she did things, but I argued my case. Also, I mentioned the menopause doctor website, which she'd never heard of, and she said she would check it out. When I went back to see another doctor, I saw she actually had the menopause doctor page up on her PC screen and was referring to it. So I was delighted she was using it. I ended up getting the gel and the tablets you recommended as best, and I definitely feel the benefits almost immediately. My mood evened out, I feel more energy, and I no longer overheat at night. And this is all because of you, in capital letters. So thank you very much. And that's from Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. You know, life is a journey, and knowledge is power, and we all have the ability, hopefully, to learn and absorb information and listen to trusted sources and make our own minds up about what we want to do. I always say, I never give medical advice. I can't. I'm not a doctor. Well, I have got a couple of honorary doctorates, but I would never call myself doctor. No, it would never be right for me to advise on anything, on any aspects of medical or personal medical health, because we're all different, we're all individual. And at the end of the day, I just see my role here as a communicator. That's literally all I do. You know, I communicate, I chat here, I chat on my podcasts. I've got a really good Friday 5 podcast coming up, by the way. So I'll remind you about that on Friday, but I'm really excited about that. I've got a lovely guest, brand new guest, which I think you're going to absolutely love her. So that's going to be a good one. So yes, my podcasts, the e-guides. Actually, I shouldn't forget, oh my goodness, before I go, a happy, healthy Christmas. Yes, what we all want. So this is the current e-guide. I printed mine out here, but it is a digital edition. And my team have put it on half price. How brilliant is that? I think it's only something like £2.50. So that's on lizellewellbeing.com, full of recipes for Christmas. I'm going to be cooking from that a lot over the next couple of weeks. So everything from making bread sauce out of sourdough bread, best mulled wine recipes, kombucha cocktails, all sorts of wonderful botanical decorations to bring inside the house, things that are really cheap and easy and fun and sustainable to do, no plastic. So grab that if you would like to, because then you'll be able to follow along with me. A couple of other bits of news before I go. we had such an amazing response to the offer of the magazine subscription. You know, we don't often do massive discounts because, as I said before, we're a little brand and we are trying to stay in print. And one of the ways that we can do that is by expanding our number of subscribers. So we did a 30% flash sale for Black Friday, and it has gone just so well. We've had lots of comments from people who missed it. So we have extended it, but it really will end at midnight tonight. Okay, that is it, guys. Okay, we've added a few more days. I'm not sure it says that on the Warner's website, so do use the code. I think it's BF20, Black Friday 20. Again, Lainey, you'll pop a link. Oh, I've just seen that, sweetheart. Thank you, on Facebook. You'll find the link on Instagram. 30% off. It's with a direct debit. If you're giving it as a gift, no problem, because you can cancel it after a year. You know, it doesn't need to be continuing. So yeah, any questions on that, do please speak to Warner's directly. They've got an amazing team. They're all working from home, on the phones, on email. They are really good guys, and I hope you love it. You know, for me, even though I'm editor-in-chief of it, you know, when it arrives through my door, because I always have it sent to me because I want to get that experience of how it arrives and unwrapping it and make sure that the date is right and all of that. I just love, you know, pouring a really nice cup of coffee or cup of tea and just sitting down and enjoying it. And the thought that we can do that for somebody 6 times a year, because you're giving them a gift for the whole year. Or you can have it for yourself. If you've got a renewal coming up in the spring, then you can renew. You can have it start in the spring later on if you want and grab that saving. Also, the other saving, again, just till midnight. So it's just a quick final call, really. I'm signing these at the moment. The Good Menopause Guide and Yearbook 2. All being signed here by me down on the farm. I've got my last little stack and we've extended that offer 20%. You'll see it on the website. You don't need a code. It's already up there, but it will come down at midnight tonight. So if you haven't yet got yours or you want to gift it, then I'm really happy to sign them and send them out. But those 2 offers will end at midnight. Just checking before I go, see if there are any last little questions. Oh, lip gloss. I love it. I love the way we dip, don't we, from, you know, LED lights to HRT to lip gloss to a great cup of coffee. Okay, lip gloss. Yes, this is my Dr. Lip. I've got it here, actually. This is the sweet potato pigment. Love it. So it's pure lanolin. And it has no nasties in it at all, and the colour comes from sweet potato, so it's plant-based. It's like eating vegetables on your lips. I don't think it qualifies as one of our 5 a day, having said that. But I do really love it. And in fact, they do a plain, untinted version. So, you know, again, coming back to the guys, if you know a guy with chapped lips, this absolutely needs to be in their pocket. Lovely little stocking fillers. Father Christmas looking for stockings. To fill. These are a little pack of 3, all the different little lip tints you get on there. And we've got a massive discount. Let me get that right. Yes, 25%. Because these things, you know, they're quite pricey. Normally it's 10%, I think. No, it's 15% normally with Liz Loves. But just until the 2nd of December. Oh, hang on. Is that gone? No, I think it's still there. 25%. Oh, actually, it is the 2nd. There's me thinking it's the 3rd. It's because of my flipping advent calendar, my chocolate debacle. It's not the 3rd, is it? It's the 2nd. Okay, so you've got till midnight tonight. Right, okay, get your skates on if you want that then. So you do get, with Liz Loves, all in capitals, on the Dr. Lip products, 25% off. But that will end at midnight. Last but not least, the organic wine box. Thank you to all of those who joined for my Zoom. That has gone onto YouTube as a private event. So anybody who is buying the wine box will get the little code that gives you access to that if you want to join the wine tasting. That was an hour and a half with Richard Bamfield and me going through all the different wines. So lovely, really lovely gift. And this week, I think up until the weekend, they've got the free Prosecco Stopper. There's a really brilliant selection of organic Prosecco, 3 bottles from this top Italian producer called Gio. And they've given us a little Prosecco Stopper. So should you not finish the bottle and want to keep the fizz, then you get that popped in there. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking now because we've just got so much that we've got through. Don't forget, if you've missed any of this, if you've joined late, don't forget all the links will be on Linktree on Instagram and they're up there on Facebook. If all else fails, head over to lizearlewellbeing.com. You will find it there. So today is Wednesday, the 2nd of December, so no chocolate to me for me tomorrow because I've already eaten it. But I will be back tomorrow on YouTube. So I'm filming something special for YouTube, which will be there. That's Thursday. Friday, I'll be back here live. I'm actually going to be doing something really special with a crafting kit. So I'm going to be doing that live. So I hope that goes well. And I'm also going to be joined by Zana Morris. So if any of you are on the creatine or the amino slim or interested in hearing about amino acids for slimming and fat reduction, then we're going to be doing a little bit of an interrogation with her to see how all that works and see how that's going. So that's live on Friday. I'll also have the Friday 5 podcast and the newsletter that goes out. If you're not on the list for the newsletter, please sign up on the website. It's completely free, and this week is jam-packed with lots of great deals, so you won't want to miss that. Sending you lots of love. Thank you for all the hearts. Sending you heart back. I wish I had a little heart button, but you can just imagine me hearting my screen to everybody. Thank you. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you on Friday. Bye-bye.